is on his way. So we're just gonna wait a few minutes. I hope y'all doing good tonight. I'm looking forward to chatting it up with the doc. I do not have a drink tonight. You know, normally I do have a little glass of wine or something, but I don't have one tonight because I have been busy doing other things. So unfortunately, I don't have one. So tonight we're going to be talking again with the amazing Dr. Lane Rowland. You guys have seen him come on to my show several times. Medical officer, virologist, you know, professor. He's a military vet. I mean, you name it. There's so many things I could probably say about Dr. Rowland, but I now say he is a friend to the Relationship Zone podcast, the Bar Talks podcast. He definitely has been coming and filling us in all along about the things that's going on out there as it relates to COVID and just overall health. So it's not even only COVID. So he has a way of speaking to us in a very no nonsense type of way and getting his point across. And hopefully we, paying attention to what he's saying. He's talked to us about this new variant for months now. And I think I'm starting to see a lot of it on TV. But he's gonna come talk to us and let us know that, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. It is not over yet. And yeah, so if you guys haven't been following Dr. Rowland, please do check him out. He has a series called Coffee with the Doc, and I'm sure we're going to talk about that, how you can follow him there and follow him all over social media. IG, he's there. I think he's out there on Twitter, but Facebook and definitely IG. He's out there, and he's really doing a lot. You've probably seen, I've shared a couple videos. He was out on some of the news channels doing what he do, And I think he is in here with us now. Hey, Doc.
Hey, what's up?
Here. So I am, I'm not on video yet, but we are live on Facebook. Hopefully they can hear the audio. I'm about to check.
Oh, can you hear me at all? Or no, can you hear me?
I hear you. Can you hear me? Gotta love it. Gotta love it. He'll be back. So I'll hold it down for a moment here. Facebook. Yeah. So we can hear it. Let me hop on so you guys can see me because that's important. Oh yeah. I think I got my light a little too bright. It looks too bright to me. Y'all can tell me what y'all think. It looks a little bright to me. Let me see. Dr. Rowland, come on back. Let's try to get him back.
Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me very well?
I can hear you well. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you very well.
Well, I had gone on without video and was kind of talking to the people behind the screen about what we're doing tonight, which is, look, hanging with Dr. Rowland again.
I mean, we've been doing this for a year and a half, girl. Time is just going by so fast.
Yeah. Well, you're looking good. Tell me where you are. Look like you've been in some good sunshine, skin looking great. Where are you?
Well, you know what they say, black don't crack.
Especially if we take care of ourselves, it really stays together.
Yeah, it's preservatives. But no, I'm in Little Rock, Arkansas. I've been here for approximately almost a week now, working with in my opinion, I've dealt with a lot of organizations in my career, military, different organizations and stuff that say they have a purpose, but I'm working with the Urban League. And the Urban League has a history in America that a lot of people don't have. And I am so privileged and honored to be in partnership with them to be able to provide education, practical solutions to make sure that the rural Americas and people of color are not going to be devastated by the COVID-19 situation. They have a game plan to get themselves in the community called boots on the ground. And I love that type of attitude. So everybody that's listening to this podcast tonight, you guys go down, and I'm telling you right now, you better support the Urban League in your local area, because this organization has history, they have credibility, and this is something I'm working with. And I'm so fortunate to be blessed to be with the Urban League and Scott Hamilton here in Arkansas, going out and saving people's lives. It kind of reminds me of being back in the jungle. And if you're going to really make a difference, it's a lot easier talking about the jungle instead of getting in the jungle.
Right. Yeah. So listen, so you down working with the Urban League, you've been working with a lot of organizations doing some great and amazing things. So I thank you for that. Again, I mean, your reach is, way greater than we probably could have ever imagined from the beginning of this. But now I'm looking at where you are now, and I'm like, oh my, he is still so dedicated to this cause. So thank you so much, Doc. I really
Oh, no,
appreciate
thank you. So I want people to know that, one of the things that I bring to the table, I've always brought to the table, is credibility.
Yeah.
I don't sugarcoat it. And I tell you something, you can take that to the bank. And, I've worked in the hot zones in the jungles of Peru, dengue and malaria and all this stuff. I'm in the hot zone in the United States. I'm in the state of Arkansas, the hot zone. We're talking about yesterday, the whole narrative changed because now the babies are dying from COVID. And that's a whole different ball game. And I don't want to, don't sugarcoat it for me. I don't want to hear about wear a mask, don't wear a mask. These babies died yesterday here in Little Rock, Arkansas, and it reminds me of being in the jungles of Peru. What do you say to that mother baby that died from COVID? Because some idiot out there talking about they don't want to wear a mask, wear a mask. I don't care if you're vaccinated or not vaccinated, you have to wear a mask, because the person that got vaccinated breathed on that kid and affected them children and probably killed them children here in Little Rock, Arkansas, in the hot zone.
Wow, that is so sad. I haven't even seen it on the news yet because I haven't been on.
It's on the news. Yep, I've already posted. It's all worldwide.
Yeah, I haven't been on, but I'm definitely going to catch up on that story. This is the first time I'm hearing that, and that is sad. So Doc, I wanted to bring you back because one, because I just love you, but two, because of course you've been talking about the variant, the Delta variant, and all the other variants. You've been talking about this for quite some time, and you are, I know, down south, like you said, in the hot zone. Can I ask you? How are things actually going down south? Because I'm up in DC, and I know how crazy it is for us, but I know that South was different from the very beginning, even before the vaccine was available. It was receiving the information and receiving the whole COVID pandemic just differently. So how is it now?
Well, I mean, the reality is that you have to understand, and we've talked about this stuff. We talk about vaccine hesitance. We talk about underlying trust of why people of color, minorities, brown people don't believe in the system. And it's right here in Little Rock, Arkansas. You have situations where mayors have asked for the vaccine for Black folks because they didn't get them. And the governor was sending the mayor the vaccines here, and they get to the Walmart and there's 100 vaccines, but the Black people are 101 because the white people at the pharmacy were calling the white folks to make sure they got the vaccine. So they want to think about these Negroes. And the mayor calls the governor again, say, hey, we need vaccines for Black folks. Send another to a white pharmacist, and sure enough, that white pharmacist calls all his friends, and the Black person's always 101. And this is part of the vaccine inheritance, vaccine hesitancy. This is part of the racial discrimination that underscores all this thing. One thing I talked about this several years ago at Tuskegee Institution when I presented healthcare disparities, I was talking about the global impacts of diseases. Can diseases change a modern world? Absolutely. Now we see economic racism, we see economic insecurity, food insecurity, Black people, people brown, people that are low income to no income are really, really true. They're not even on the bus. They're not even in the back of the bus. And this is the afterthought. And this is a problem that we have. And one of the things I'm having an opportunity to do is that I cannot talk about it.
Yeah.
That is what makes me who I am. See, I can talk about it, but guess what? You know, I've done it.
Yeah.
I can tell you to do 1,000 push-ups, and guess what? Dr. Rolling's done 1,001.
Yeah.
And so I have to come here and make a difference. I have to be here just like yesterday and the day before. I'm in there in the schools with the Black boys and girls.
Mm-hmm.
They're sitting on my lap, asking me
Yeah.
questions, little Black, beautiful babies and stuff.
Yeah.
That's my responsibility to make sure I give these babies and their family members the opportunity to have information that's going to make them make a difference in life. Because I don't want to put these babies in body bags, and they're starting to put babies in body bags in Little Rock, Arkansas. So what in the hell do you say to a parent that loses a child?
Yeah.
I've been there before. I've heard the screams of people screaming and crying and falling out, praying to God, and God ain't listening to them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're dealing with it. What do you say to them? I'm sorry. I feel your pain. You you could have wore a mask, didn't wear a mask. Come on, please, folks.
Oh, goodness, dog. You know, I mean, I can't imagine. I just can't imagine what it's like. It's scary. It's still scary to a lot of us. And you've been telling us, and I mean, I know that there's some, misinformation out there, and I want to make sure that we're careful not to offer that, because Facebook will
You're not
pull.
going to probably Queen. I can promise you right now. You might as well take that. Excuse me. You might as well take that shit to the bank. That ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
There's not one person on this planet, look at my eyes, going to tell me anything about science, medicine, and virology.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just sit down and shut up.
Yeah.
You might not like me because of the way I look, maybe my attitude, but you're definitely not going to tell a 6th-degree individual like me that has real world experience telling me about some virus or biochemistry.
Mm-hmm.
I'll throw my Coke in your face.
Well, look, you've been on it the whole time. You have been on it. We have talked about that Delta variant. We've talked about it coming back. We've talked about all of that. We've talked about the waves. I mean, anyone that has been following you or following our discussions or any discussions that you put out there, they can pretty much take it to the bank. You have been on it. So with that being said, tell me, I know you're in Little Rock. Can you share with us some things that maybe we should be considering, should be thinking about? I mean, we already know the mask. We know that. We know that we need to continue to wear the mask. That is definitely something that has been proven.
I think what's important from Little Rock, because Little Rock is really like in the center of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
It is the hot zone. Missouri is a hot zone next to it.
Yeah.
2 hot zones. This stuff is going to spread all over the country. Just look at it's look like just germs coming out affecting everybody.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at. And we're at the beginning of what's going to happen. This is a preview of what happened last year.
Mm-hmm.
We knew what happened last year. It's going to go away. Put your head in the microwave. It's like the flu. Drink bleach. Everybody feeling comfortable. CDC all screwed up, got information, wear a mask, don't wear a mask, sending out faulty test kits and stuff, giving people false negatives. They screwed up. Then we get to Memorial Weekend because people stress out.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of relax the wearing mask mandates.
Yeah.
People have barbecue. They had barbecue last year. Then all of a sudden, 30 days later, after having barbecue for Memorial Weekend, cases going up. Oh my God! But don't forget, we got 4th of July. We got to celebrate. We got to feel comfortable. We eat hot dogs. Well, I promise you, now we're seeing the results of that. And a lot of them folks out there, like I said on my Coffee Doctor, a lot of y'all, this will be the last hot dog y'all have, because you ain't gonna make it to July 4th of next year. That's just a fact, because you didn't listen. And that's that. And now what we're doing, is at the peak of this new, the second pandemic. And I've been saying that for the last year.
You have.
Period. End of story. So we're on the slope of that. So what you saw last year, you need to take that, all the people on this Zoom call and your platform, Just look what happened last year.
Yeah.
August, September, October, November, we will go to 1 million people dead by January. That is a fact. You're not going to change the outcourse of that.
Okay, so viewers, y'all here. We are back again with Dr. Lane Rowland. He is always coming, giving it to us straight. Any of you that follow my interviews with him, then you will know that we've been having these conversations and it definitely is coming to pass. Everything you see on TV, he's already been talking about it for months prior to it ever hitting, the TV or hitting, like public information. So, Doc, let's see. James is saying, good evening, how you doing? Hi, Camilo, Vicky, hi, Donna, Antoine, hi, Michael. Okay, I'm just saying hello to everybody for us. If you have any questions, put them in the chat box so I can ask Dr. Rowland. So Doc, I'm gonna turn the curve a little bit. What you drinking on over there?
They have a punch
Okay.
made by a sister. I'm speechless.
A punch, maybe. Okay.
I'm talking Southern punch.
Is it good?
I'm talking it's better than a Mai Tai Tahiti punch. That's what I'm drinking, girl. And that boy is so smooth. I call it the Little Rock punch.
Yeah.
And it's good.
I love it. I love it. Well, listen, tonight I'm not drinking on anything. I am sipping on water, but I will have me something a little later. Let's go back a little bit. Just looking at what's going on right now. So, do you believe that we're going to possibly have to lock down again? I'm hearing about certain.
I agree. But there's not going to be if we're going to have to lock down. It's going to happen.
Okay.
The virus is going to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing Maryland, you live at in that area. They already got emergency protocols in it. New Orleans making mandate, everybody got to wear masks. LA, California, you will be wearing masks. Las Vegas is about to implement masks again. You just left Vegas a month ago. And all them infected people, Lambda virus, Delta mutation virus, and you were there because the people that go to Vegas, and most of the part, they're nasty. They get drunk and they don't care. No mask. Well, I guarantee you, all them people went to Vegas, they might as well go ahead and buy their own body bags. Ready.
I never go back to Vegas after that experience this last time. And I've gone several times, but that last one was enough for me. I realized I can't do it anymore.
Queenie, tell everybody about your experience, because this is a lesson about what we have to, the way we save people's lives is that we can't sugarcoat stuff. We have to tell people what the real experience was. So tell everybody out there what happened when you went to Vegas, all them fools on them planes.
Like we were in Vegas, and first it was a mask mandate, and as soon as it came on the news and when public said no mask mandate, people took the mask off. They were up under each other. All the casinos went back up to like 100% capacity. It was instant. It was not even like a slow rollout. Literally, I was downstairs and I went across the street to the CVS. And that's where I realized the mandate had been lifted. People were in the line. I'm not wearing masks. They were cussing and fussing, and I was still fully masked up, and I did not know what was going on. And I walked back to my hotel, and I could see that we had gone from like a 50% capacity to 100% in probably, it was less than an hour. That was that quick. And I was so ready to go. I could not do it any longer. Watching people argue and fuss over masks.
Well, here's the deal. When we look at public health in the history of infectious diseases, I'm gonna write the book. Las Vegas was a super spreader to the world and killed millions of people. That is a fact. And that is why they're going back and shut down again. I hope they enjoyed their money. And the biggest winner was the virus. Yeah. The virus, thank you very much. It won the biggest jackpot in all the history of mankind, because all them fools in Vegas went to their representative towns and countries and universities, world, and they spread that virus. The virus said, thank you very much.
Yeah. Period. Well, yeah, I had my experience looking at it. It was in real time. It was just a lot. So we have two comments or question. Vicky asked, do you really see a light at the end of this long tunnel?
I think the light's going to come to the end of the tunnel in probably about 10 years. Because what's happened is that because of the people with inconsistency, people got their head buried in the sand, wear a mask, don't wear a mask, don't wash your hands, go to Las Vegas, which is a super spreader. Las Vegas is a super spreader. That's what you need to always remember. Las Vegas super spreader.
Yeah.
It spread the disease around the world with the Lambda strain and the Delta strain and the Epsilon strain, and all them folks coming from California to Las Vegas brought that stuff back to California shut down. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So is there going to be any light in the tunnel? I see the light in about 10 years. That's the reality, because this is when it happened, when you start talking about people's constitutional rights and truly understanding infectious diseases and understanding how viruses are transmitted. People, we and your leaders killed you guys, and you guys are ghosts. You just don't know it.
That is deep. Okay, Doc, here's another one. So Michael, he said that I'm so in agreement with Doc about possibly another lockdown. People are so reckless not wearing masks. I think a lot of us feel that same way, Mike. I do feel that way as well. And I get it. I know we became tired and ready to just get out. But the thing is that the virus hasn't gone anywhere. It hasn't. I don't know if we ever even flattened the curve, sir.
We never flatten the curve. And this is a reality. And this is why I always try to go back to the basics. If the government, Trump was telling you guys to put your head in the microwave, drink some Clorox, shoot yourself with bleach. It's going to go away in the fall or the springtime. And they had all them idiots around him that supported this concept. And there are a lot of idiots that believe that stuff. And, and a lot of them idiots are in body bags now. And there are going to be a lot more idiots in body bags. If people would have listened, basic public health, the experts in epidemiology and public health that understand how diseases are transmitted. If for example, when they talked about smallpox, when they talked about smallpox, they understood it came from a cow. They understand how diseases are transmitted in England through the water system. And once you find out how a disease is transmitted, you have to somehow intervene in that transmission, i.e., don't drink that water coming from the slaughterhouse. It's infected. If you understand the disease is transmitted by getting a tick, you don't get a tick. We never done that. We never explain to people this is how a disease occurs, how you can break that transmission of diseases. And so what's happening is it's gone. The virus is out of control. You are not controlled. You're not going to be able to vaccinate the virus away. It is ball game done. Reality. So what do we have to do? We got to get back to the ground game. I better wear a mask. I better wash my hands. I better have mats. I better have situational awareness. Even if you think that you have some immunity from the vaccine, don't you get on the elevator with 9 people breathing in that air. I can promise you that. And if you do have a vaccines, do you really know what your antibody levels are? Have you been tested to see if you really have the antibodies for the vaccination? Maybe they gave you a black butt of placebo. You're part of the experiment. A4312, a Shrek 262. You don't know.
Yeah. So we're gonna go back to the very basics, what you've been talking about from the very beginning, which was making sure that we wear the mask, clean our hands. I mean, you gave us this for months, for over a year now. You've been having this conversation. We are really back to square one because it hasn't gone anywhere.
No, the vast majority of people back to square one because they never listened.
Yeah.
They thought this was, I understand the psychological component of this. I have PTSD. We every one of us on this planet knows somebody or somebody's been exposed to the SARS-CoV virus one way or the other.
Yeah.
But the people didn't listen. And now they're going to pay the consequences. A lot of people are going to pay the ultimate consequences this year because a lot of you folks ain't going to see Labor Day. A lot of you folks y'all won't be having no sweet potato pie for Thanksgiving. And you damn sure ain't going to be having no cranberry sauce and turkey for Christmas. And you won't be celebrating New Year's this year because you didn't listen.
Well, for those of us that are listening, let's talk to them. We cannot save everybody, right? We know that, right? We want to. So I don't want to make it seem like I don't. Hence why I think I do this show every month with you because I believe in the basic science of what you're telling us. I mean, it's just basic science, and it makes perfect sense. And so I believe in that, and I'm hoping that my viewers who are still watching us believe as well. And we can keep our families as safe as possible, and we can remain aware whenever we're out and about, even in our homes. I still take my shoes off when I walk into the house. Um, so let's talk to them, Doc, like those people. What can you say to those of us that are tuning in because we want to do what's right? We want to be better at this, better stewards of, our own safety and our health, and bring our family along as well, and our friends.
Well, I mean, I think everybody in America has some education in basic biology. Everybody takes a biology course, and that where it starts at, this is just basic science of biology. You guys have been taught that in school, high school, and colleges. So, you have to have a biology class, and maybe some of you guys have taken a microbiology class. So it goes back down to the basics. One, understanding this is a virus, respiratory, airborne. Why in the hell are you having a constitutional right debate about a mask and an airborne virus? Two, understanding how the disease is transmitted, understanding fecal contamination, waste contamination, that every touch screen that you touch in the public arena, kiosks at the Kroger's, kiosks at the airport, your ATM PIN number at the bank or the gas station is infected with feces. So why would you expose your hands to that and take your hands to come in contact with feces and put your finger in your eyeball? You're going to get infected. Understanding that when you go to the store, the produce, your apples, your onions, your bananas, your grapes, people touch that. They want to squeeze the avocado, squeeze the cantaloupe, squeeze the peaches. They put them back in there, and their fingers, all that produce in the markets are contaminated with feces and viruses, hepatitis, SARS virus. So you have to make sure that you sterilize or food sanitize your food when you get home before you eat it. That's the basic type of common sense stuff that you try to create a bubble that I don't need to teach you that. I need to show you that.
Yeah.
And if I show you, like we say in surgery, see one, do one. I operate on a baby and I do a surgery. I got my resident intern with me and I show them, I make the incision, I do the procedure, then the next patient, see one, do one. So you need to, if I'm doing it, you need to be doing it. Right. If I get out the boat, you need to get out the boat. If Dr. Rowland stays in the boat, guess what you need to do? You need to stay in the boat. And that's how you do it. Because if you listen to these guys out there that have no credibility, no scientific credibility, just talking heads, them folks have killed millions of people, period, end of story. And you can't write the script any better. You can't write this movie any better. This is an Academy Award winning movie. And I'm in the audience eating popcorn, watching you guys as the characters play out the scene.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. So everyone that's watching, do you have any questions? If you do, send them in, drop them into the chat, and I will make sure to ask Dr. Rowland. And because we're not going to do our whole hour segment, Dr. Rowland is enjoying himself. Okay, so I need to make sure that he gets off of here early enough while he can still enjoy that sunset, because we're an hour behind, right? You're an hour behind me.
Come on, Queenie Love. You come on. You know I'm a special forces guy, girl. You know I can operate anytime I got the energy to make it. But the bottom line is that I think it's important that people need to understand this is a reset program. Yeah. This is the beginning. This is part one of what's going to happen over the next 6 months. And mark my words, in August, you're going to be saying, wow. I think my son called me Black Nostradamus, or whatever y'all call it. What's the guy?
Nostradamus.
Yeah, they call
Nostradamus. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh
yeah, he's my son. I'm gonna tell everybody this stuff affects me too. My son's in Mexico, Brandon Collinsworth, the face of Nike, and guess what? He's infected with the Delta P virus. Man. He can't get out of Mexico. He's sicker than a dog. And what I'm telling you folks is that this stuff affects everybody. If my son, who's the face of Nike, super athlete, is sick with COVID, what does that tell you? Yeah. Then I'm talking to his friend in LA, 24 years old, calling me up, crying, spitting out blood with a massive headache, had to get an ambulance to get him into the hospital. this Delta virus is not affecting just the old people. It's affecting people in their 20s, teenagers, children. Ball game over with.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to read this here, sir. Michael says, I have to leave, you guys. You are so informative. My first time on this platform, and definitely looking forward to the next meeting. Thank you, Mike. I hope you come back. Queenie and Doc, thank you for reminding myself and others that this pandemic is far from over, and we need to continue to mask up. Absolutely. Bonique, my aunt says the media is stating this is now a pandemic of the unvaccinated, and it's the unvaccinated people causing the various mutations. Is that true? What is your opinion and your thoughts on that, sir?
On what now? Exactly the specific.
Yeah, the question was, she said the media is stating that this is now a pandemic of the unvaccinated, and it's the unvaccinated people causing the various.
That's a lie. It's not the unvaccinated people ain't driving this pandemic. It's the vaccinated people that are driving this pandemic, because these are the ones that have partial immunity, and these guys are the ones that are producing all these super mutants. That's just a fact.
Wow.
It's just, that's the spin zone. And then the spin zone will get you killed and ball game over. That's absolutely incorrect.
Wow.
And so if I tell you that all the vaccines, they have to blame somebody. They need to blame their failed policies, because you do not, if you're not an infectious disease specialist and you're a politician and you didn't go to school for it, you need to sit down and shut up. This ain't your arena. I'm sorry, you don't have control over the virus. Ball game done. But I don't have to say anything. The virus is going to make history for you anyway. And the guys in this what we call this lane killed 700,000 Americans. What do you say now? Babies are dying now. What do you say to the parents now?
Yeah. Wow. Wow. All right. So that's all the questions. So let me take another turn. I want to know your experience, because we talked earlier. You kind of mentioned like this is like a plague from like biblical times, right? What is happening in the I guess the religious communities that you're in? What is, what are they doing? What's happening? What are they talking about? I know you were just on a platform, and I'd like to hear a little bit about what's happening there.
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to work with some of the biggest churches in the Black community, from Baptist, Methodist, AME this week, and they've been absolutely just fantastic, because the church is the knowledge. I tell people, what I told the folks last night was that I think what happens is now because of the virus, is that the church has become the public health. It is the public health, because the church knows who's in the congregation sick. They know who has money issues, sickness problems, having financial problems. They know if Mrs. Jones is not getting her food. And so what's happening now, because of the pandemic, the church itself is going to have a bigger foundation, because the Black church in particular has always been kind of the cement for the community for hundreds of years. In the 50s, the 40s, through racism, it's always been that fabric, like I call it, a fist to hold the community together. So now the church has more of a bigger role now, if they practice what they preach, understanding the people in their congregation, understanding that they are the public health, making sure people are informed with the most up-to-date information, making sure they can provide the best technology for the people, i.e., hey, if you're going to get vaccinated, you need to get a test to measure antibodies. You need to know, if you're in a public arena teaching kids every week, you need to be tested to see if you're infected. You need to understand if somebody is sick in a household. And one of the questions that was asked to me last night was that, Doc, we have people that have 4 or 5 people living in a house. How do you self-quarantine when somebody's infected? Well, these are the things that we have to understand, that people are not going to be able to go to the Hamptons and separate from everybody. These people living in the same house. So we have to teach people how to wear a mask, how to clean the bathroom, understand what self-quarantine. I'm talking about real self-quarantine, where the person that's infected is not wearing a mask in the house, but also the people that live in the house are wearing that house. And they have the technology to make sure they buy air sanitizer, purification unit. These are the things that the church is responsible for. And one thing I've noticed here in Little Rock is that the church is the blood of the Black race. It is the blood of the Black people, has direct communication to the Black people. And that's one of those things when I look at Fauci and all these fools running around here, they ain't been in the black church. You don't see any little black boys and girls sitting on Dr. Fauci's lap. They're sitting on Dr. Rolling's lap.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
recognize me. They see us. We're one of their own.
I saw the pictures. I was like, oh, look at him out there. He's in his zone. For those of you that's watching, we are with Dr. Roland again, rolling with Dr. Roland, of course. This is our happy hour. We will be on probably for another 10, 15 minutes. Share this out if you will. Leave your questions in the box and I'll make sure that I ask Dr. Roland, but please share it, get the information out for me. Doc, is there anything else? What's happening with you? What's new? Other than, of course, this work that you're doing, and people.
I think it's funny, Queenie, my sister, my little sister, and
Yeah.
we did. I think we did it last time. I was in Mexico on the ocean.
On the ocean, yes, you were. You were out there on the ocean, laying your hair down. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what's going on. That's exactly what's going on. And people know, I don't want them to only know you for COVID. You do a lot of things. And so you've been out here, saving lives and helping people for a very long time. So there's a lot that you have to offer to people that look like myself. And so I want to make sure
let's keep it real. Let's think about it. I mean, I can never figure it out. And I don't care what anybody thinks now. I've done my dues and stuff. And I remember how we always wanted white people to validate us. Mm-hmm. They tell you to do this, jump this high, and you got to get this degree. And guess what? We never, ever make it to that glass ceiling, do we?
Right.
Never, ever. And so what I've learned in life now is that I have to be secure who I am. Mm-hmm. And don't worry about somebody patting me on the back, or I got to look in the mirror and says, Johnny likes me. I have to like myself, the perfections and the imperfections. And I think for me is the fact that given the opportunity on this stage, the biggest stage in the world, LeBron James has a big stage, but my stage is bigger than his because I'm saving people's lives. I'm talking real lives, not some entertainment, somebody singing a song, busting a dance. Nobody cares about that when people are trying to live and survive. You think you're going to go to the hospital here in Little Rock and bust a dance? Does somebody care about a basketball on a child just died? No, I have a bigger role in that. And so I think for me, is just to have the opportunity by God or whatever, to have an opportunity to come back with all the years of experience I've had and be able to share that knowledge and help people in a different way. Yeah, maybe I don't have the mosquitoes and the snakes and the anacondas and the piranhas in the jungles and the monkeys and the jaguars and the rivers and stuff. It's a different type of jungle here in the United States. And so I'm having fun right now. I'm loving it. And I'm going to maximize every opportunity I have throughout the country. I'm going to keep on the platforms there because if I save one person's life, I've done my job.
Absolutely.
Here.
I love that, sir. Thank you again I say it, thank you for your service because you have been serving for people like myself and many others for a very long time. So thank you so much. We have a question. If a person had the coronavirus months ago, is it advised that they get the vaccine?
Well, I would tell people when it comes to the vaccine, people have to make the best decision for themselves, informed consent. I put that on the internet today because I'm so sick of hearing about that. I've been telling you guys, and the reality is that I don't care if you get 10 vaccines, doesn't matter. The vaccine, the antibodies only last for 85 days, period, end of story. So what does that mean? You don't have to get a booster shot. That's a fact.
Yeah.
And I keep telling you guys need to read the actual paper on what Pfizer presented to the FDA to get approval. And I put the paper that they submitted and it says in parentheses, they did not test minorities. They did not test pregnant females. They did not test old people. They didn't test people with autoimmune disease. You are the guinea pig. They're testing on you right now. And they're going to let you know in 6 months if it works or not. But you are the experiment because this is experimental vaccine.
So now, just so y'all know, it's not that he's against it. He's just wanting you to be informed. Okay. I don't want anyone to take this video and decide they're going to take it down because we're saying no. He is saying.
It's not a matter of taking a video down. What it is what it is. I mean, what are you going to do?
I agree.
NBC is going to put an article in there that if you get the vaccine, you can have a heart attack, myocarditis. You're going to put in there that women that get the Moderna things are having clots in the brain. They're going to pull that down. That's not right.
Right. It's not right, but like I've been in jail on Facebook for like 60 days here and there. Yeah, they are really tripping. So I just want to make sure that people understand what we're saying here, and I don't want it to get misconstrued. So yeah.
Yeah, but if I tell you something can correct, then you do it. But if you cannot debunk me because I'm telling you what's in the science book,
Yep.
then you just sit down and shut up.
Yep. I stand by you. So I hope we answered your question. If you have any more questions, send them in. We have a few more minutes. So Doc, what are some of our next steps that you think we should be considering again? And after that, tell me what are your next steps?
I think it's very critical that people get themselves prepared, what we call preemptive strikes or preemptive or what we call prophylactic. I think people need to start getting toilet paper. I think people need to start buying alcohol. People need to buy masks. People need to start buying stuff that same thing you did last year.
Yeah.
Because I promise you, because most of the people got their head buried in the sand, and when they pull their head out of sand, it's gonna be too late. There ain't gonna be any antiviral masks. There's not going to be any hand sanitizer. There's not going to be any toilet paper, paper towel, alcohol. So you need to do what the survivors do and get yourself prepared, because this time around, you thought last year was bad. It's going to be 100% worse than last year because the virus is much more, it's a 225% more powerful than last year.
Right.
So September, October, November, December is what I call hump months. So you want to make it to New Year's. You make it to New Year's, you'll make it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's good to know. I would definitely go out and restock. I'm not all the way down and gone, but I definitely need to restock thinking about the months to come. The flu season is on the way.
Say again? Oh yeah,
flu season is on the way.
Yeah, flu's gonna be here probably. So we'll start seeing cases September, October, November, December. They've already started to see flu cases in the other part of the world in the southern hemisphere because it's wintertime. So people are gonna have to worry about the flu and also SARS, and that's why you better mask up, hand wash up, mat up, situational awareness up, because this is gonna be a rough year. And you can look what's happening. You can look at every day in the newspaper. It's telling you subliminal. Texas shutting down. Cruise ships. LA shutting down. Vegas is super spreader. Come on, folks. You're getting ready because what's going to happen September 1, they're going to say it's ball game over with. Then what are you going to do?
Yeah, it's scary, and I'm barely watching the news, but now I'm starting to pick it back up, especially after talking with you today and looking at like ball games are happening again, and people are showing up I'm talking big capacity. Like I'm hosting an event this weekend, and we have like maybe 20 people, and it's indoor, outdoor, and I put all these protocols in place, and and I'm nervous about that, but I can't go somewhere that there's 100, 200. I just can't. I can't even think, when I'm in an environment like that. So
I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna put it on record. I want all y'all folks to go to these football games. I want all you guys want to go to the
game. No, he does not, y'all. No, he does not.
Because I'm gonna be in business for a long time.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right. So listen, what's new with you? Like what can we be on the lookout for? I know you have Coffee with the Doc. So you want to tell us about that a little bit?
About Coffee with the Doc?
Yeah. Tell people a little bit about that.
Well, Coffee with the Doc is something I was thinking about because, it's just I get up in the morning every time at 3:00 in the morning. I have my coffee, and I'm doing my what I call virology intelligence investigation surveillance, looking at what's going on around the world. And I said, so I start writing in the morning time, and I want to give people kind of a survey of what's going on, real life, and then integrate that with microbiology. For example, yesterday I talked about the virus, and the reason why people have bad problems with the lungs because the virus kills the cilia in the cell that gets rid of secretions and it pushes stuff out. If the virus kills that, you're gonna have an infection, you get pneumonia. I like that. It's just a great platform for me just to be a regular person writing about life as an infectious disease specialist and giving people my perspective. So that's a very, very powerful tool that I love doing. I will make an announcement probably on Monday, but I've been added to another COVID healthcare task force, a bigger one. I'll make that an announcement probably Monday.
Quite the czar, y'all see.
Huh?
I said, you're quite the czar, y'all see.
Yeah, well, but that'll be something that's coming down the pipeline. I take that charge very, very seriously because, I have the floor now. I have the platform now because I've been right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one of the guys that jumped into space and you talk to them 1 minute. They don't, if you ask them about virology, they can't tell you anything about viruses. Mm-hmm. You tell them, you ask them about diseases, they couldn't tell you. They can tell you what's in the textbook because, Omaha, Nebraska is a long ways from the jungles of Peru.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then I think the biggest thing also is that just to have an opportunity to continue to help and promote the Urban League because they have they actually got the pulse of the community, and that's part of their mission is to provide opportunities for brown, Black people, just people in general, giving people the civil rights and having an opportunity. And we're going to be I'm partnering with them guys to continue to provide the opportunity for people to have the best information to survive through this SARS-CoV virus because it is an epidemic disease, and it's a critical mass that people have to have the best information. So working with the Urban League is another platform that I look forward, and the Urban League's been around for a long time.
Good. Well, we're gonna follow you on that. I also saw that you were on was it one of the news channels most recently? You're always on something.
Yeah, well, one of the programs I love, and I've been blessed to be a part of the communication is the Black News Channel. So every Sunday night, 7 p.m., prime time live, talking about different issues from COVID, and even if I had to go to my other hat, the trauma guy, it's just a great platform, being able to talk to people real time and speak what I know from the knowledge I know, and not be able to water down or lie to people, to keep it real. And that's what the Black News Channel is about, is telling the truth for people of color, Black and brown.
Yeah, BNC, Black News Channel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on it's the website, right? Or do you guys go live on Facebook? Or
it's live on Cox, AT&T, the different channels and different communities and stuff. But that's a live news show. I'm the one I'm on, and they have Blow from New York Times. They have some very powerful people that are on that platform that we know in our community, and so it's just a privilege for me to even be even considered as one of their resident experts in COVID. And I've been on there since October. I think I probably done about 50 shows because every Sunday I'm on that show, and I hope to continue to be a product and a role model in providing them best information to save people's lives worldwide.
All right, so for the viewers, y'all heard it, BNC, y'all check it out. You can catch it on your local TV, I think that is. I know he said it's on, Cox, and so go out there, just Google it. Look up. I found it, so.
Right.
Yeah, I'm on their website. That's how I found you.
But it's a great opportunity, and this is a problem that we've had. One of the things with social media is that now the problem that the powers that be, they lost the upper ground. They can't control the narrative because the information is out there now.
Right.
I mean, could you imagine 50 years ago, with the information highway that they would be doing an experiment on Black people, just Higi syphilis experiment? That'd have been done the day one.
Yeah.
So now people have a platform to be able to speak to millions of people without having some narrative on there, and that's a good thing, both positive and negative. But you have to look through and find the most credible, informative, accurate information. And I think from last year, one thing I think the COVID situation has taught us, there are 99% of the people who talked about it really don't know crap. Mm-hmm. Period. It's just talking heads. And numbers have already proven they weren't right, because we're getting ready to do the big second pandemic where millions of people are going to die, and they had their first opportunity and they failed. the governor of Florida, the governor of Texas, the governor of Mississippi, the governor of Alabama. I can go right down the line. Governor of Missouri. All them people are going to die because the ineptness of these people get into a lane they're not supposed to be in.
Well, I don't even know what to say to it other than, you know, I just hope that they start listening and doing better, honestly. Like we're so far into this and we've seen what has been working and what doesn't. And so at this point, we have to use wisdom, right? Before we go, sir, before I shut my Facebook off, I have a question from Vicky. She said, please ask about the monkeypox virus. I don't know what that is, so.
Monkeypox is just a different type of chicken pox, you know, very prevalent in Africa. The guy came from Africa, he brought it there and he got it. And what people are more concerned about monkeypox is being similar to smallpox, but it's not even in the category of that and stuff. And so that's why the cases have gone down. But we have to understand that as we go through this pandemic, there are other diseases out there. And it was released today. Now, folks, all my diabetic patients, I told you what was going to happen. The black fungus is here now. We're resisting all the medication, eating people's face and eyeballs out of your head. I told you better wear a mask. You better make sure you don't have people wearing your shoes in the house because of that fungus is transmitted on the bottom of your shoes. We have respiratory syncytial virus that are killing children as we speak right now in hospitals in the United States. And that virus is not supposed to be here until the fall time. So you can see we have a lot of stress going on. We have fungal infections, the black fungus. We have respiratory syncytial virus. We have monkeypox. We got influenza. We have the SARS-CoV virus. All this is part of the evolution of man not listening and thinking that they're the rulers of this planet. But you got to realize that these viruses and bacteria want to survive too. So we're always in a constant war with them. So we have to have the best biosecurity protocols, masks, and hand washing, and stop being so nasty. So you can imagine going to the store, a produce store, people don't wear masks, they're coughing on your cucumbers, picking their nose and touching the grapes, picking their nose and touching, squeezing the avocado, the onions, the tomatoes, bananas, and you take that home and all that food's contaminated. So you better make sure you disinfect it, desanitize it.
Goodness. I may not even eat tomorrow, sir. No. Listen, Doc, you know, it's always a pleasure kicking it with you. I absolutely love having you here. You're welcome, Vicky. I love having you here. I want to see you next month in August. Yeah, I will be in Savannah for a while. That's my plan.
Oh, I love Savannah.
Me too.
At the Savannah State, had a couple of students from Savannah State train with me in Peru.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful trees, good seafood. It's a great place and stuff.
It's such a beautiful city. So yeah, I'll be there for a while in August. And so maybe we'll be recording from Savannah. It just depends. Maybe.
Why not? I don't see why not. When we do this in a month, I'm gonna be recording. I'll be back in Arkansas.
Oh.
And we recorded it here and stuff. So
Yeah.
you know, I can take the program anywhere in the world. It's always a pleasure to do this program.
Yeah.
For our listeners, thank you for even giving me the consideration to even listen to somebody like me, because like I say, I'm a nobody.
Oh no, you know, you are someone special, trust me. Thank you, Monique. I hope I'm saying your name right. Hey, Greg, you are a little late. Hope you're well. Okay, so I don't know who Greg is. I guess it's maybe someone that's viewing. But thank you to our viewers, to all of those that are watching. Please share this video out. Still, it's very informative. Share it, share it, share it. This is what we do. You know, follow the relationship zone. I talk about all things love, life, and relationships. Love having Dr. Rolling here because he's talking about health and all things matter. And of course, we shoot the crap a little bit. It's fun. So, Doc, I hope to see you in August.
Yeah, and I just got an email just now from CNN. The Delta strain is much more contagious than the Alpha strain. That just came right now, just
came in
a second ago.
Thank you, Dr. Lane. Love y'all. That's what everyone is saying. So look, we love y'all too. Dr. Lane, you want to say anything to the people before I
want everybody have a super fan, like I always say, you guys know me. I want everybody to have a super fantastic day. Be positive. live life, enjoy life, because it's very precious. And like I always say, through my eyes, I'm going to definitely see you guys on the other side.
Absolutely. So Doc, hang tight 1 second. I'm going to close out for those that are watching us on Facebook. Facebook, I love you guys to life, and I'll see you soon. In August, we'll be doing a lot of love and relationship talk. So make sure you follow us, get the notifications, and join me. Hold on, Doc. Don't go anywhere. Bye,
Oh,
Facebook viewers.